Good day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody in the crowd. Welcome back to the Ketchup Cast. My name is Lord Manedor, and I am joined with my rival for today, Grenzo the Fire.
Rival?
Okay, rival's not the right word. Basically, a couple of minutes ago, we had the idea of having a bit of a debate for...
Oh, no, I'm not going to debate. I'm just going to talk.
Okay.
I don't debate in the first place.
All right, fair enough. Maybe less of a debate and more of seeing each other's sides of an idea. And the idea is, hypothetically, someone is cloned. And this clone grows up same way they do. They check out as completely human, biologically. Should they be seen as a real person? Grenzo?
You see, the way I would see it, everybody has a slot. Whenever they're born, they have a slot, and they're given a slot. Whenever somebody is cloned from at least two people or one person, they don't have a slot. Their slot was the slot that they would already have was used up already.
A slot for what?
The slot to even be classed. The way I would see it, everybody's born with a slot to be a person.
Like a voting slot? Or?
No slot. Just
this place?
Just a place.
Okay.
A place in anything.
Okay.
And, but a clone's place would already been taken up by the person that they're cloned off of.
Uh-huh. Interesting. So, what if they start at the same time. Like someone has a kid and then they decide, you know what, I'm going to clone this kid. So it's like an artificial twin. So they get an exact clone of that twin and they grow up in the same way, but by different people. That would include a completely different thought process.
What do you mean by different people? Like a different person cloned it?
Like a different person raised the clone. So, for example, let's say there were two of you. One raised by the parents you have now.
And one, like...
You have a clone.
Lab cloned?
Yes. You are raised by your parents, and the clone is raised by a different set of parents.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say that they are raised with completely different ideals and morals. Like, basically, you're polar opposite in nearly every way.
Mm-hmm.
At least in the mind. And then you were given the chance to vote for something. Let's go with the presidential vote, I suppose. Would they count the clone's vote also? Because that is a completely different input, but is still you. It is like two different sides of you, and one is even a completely different you. Would that be allowed to include the clone's vote, or only yours and not the
I would
other?
say my own.
Okay, why?
Because that's still me. That is me. Mm. It's an imitation of me, which I am the real one. I was the one naturally made. Mm-hmm. I was a natural person.
Okay.
That is the imitation of me. Again, that's just a clone of me. Mm. That was made in a lab somewhere. That's me. That's biologically that's me.
Okay.
But that's not me, really.
Okay. Now, next thing. Suppose that was the real you, and you were the clone, but raised to believe otherwise. Both of you raised to believe otherwise. Mm-hmm. He was raised to believe that he was a clone, but he was the real Grenzo. And then...
I was a clone, but I was raised to be real?
Yes.
After we figure out who is the real one, too bad, so sad, I'm not the real one.
Okay. So you would be willing to...
You would have to accept the fact that you're not a real... That you are... Biologically, you're perfectly a person, but you're not a person.
Okay. What defines a person in your eyes?
Naturally born.
Okay. Interesting.
Not like the whole thing, oh, you are a C-section, you're not naturally born.
Like natural conception.
Natural conception, yes.
Okay, so if someone... I've heard this already. Someone took...
Like a surrogate?
I don't know what that is.
Whenever a woman cannot... Like, I believe it's whenever a woman cannot produce birth. She gets her egg and her husband's sperm. They put it inside a different person. And then I was thinking
more of, you take out the egg, you fertilize it, and you grow that fetus in a tube or something. Mm-hmm. Would that be considered natural conception?
Okay, tell me that again. So basically,
it's both come from both the egg and what's needed to fertilize the egg.
Are they tube born?
What do you mean?
Do they come?
They come from not clones.
Are they put? I know they're okay. I understand that, but are they put inside? Do they come out naturally? Like, are they born, or are they constructed?
They're not constructed, but
Do they come out of a womb?
They are naturally formed as they would be within a womb, but they are not in a real womb.
Do they come out like a normal person? Do they come out of a woman? Do they come out of the womb? All that stuff.
Probably, yes.
If they do, yeah, they're a real person. If they don't, no.
Okay, so, what scenario would make that not a person? What process would need to come about to create a clone in your eyes instead of a human?
A clone, not a human?
A cloned human, not a natural human.
Not natural, a cloned human?
Yes. What process?
I have no idea how the cloning works.
Okay.
I just know that the way I see a person being a person, they have to be naturally born the natural way.
Okay. Would you count a twin as a natural clone? I've wondered this myself in the past, and I still don't have an answer.
Twins can pop out differently. Twins can come in different sets.
Identical twins.
They have identical twins. Identical twins can come out different ways. They can come out boy, girl, girl, boy, girl, girl, boy, boy, things like that.
Well, let's consider girl, girl in this instance.
That's still, they're two different people.
They're two different people.
Yeah.
And they are real people.
They're real people.
Okay.
Two different people.
But you and clone you are...
That's not a person.
Not a person.
I'm the person. That's not.
Okay. All right. Well, that's your thoughts on it.
That's the way I see that's the way I see cloning.
Okay. Personally, I feel like we could next question I feel like I should add. Would we treat them as people? Because they are raised and act and function like a normal human being, just they had a different starting point. Would you consider them a person? Or, well, I know you wouldn't consider them a person, but would you treat them as one?
Yes, but the thing is, if you're going to reproduce, don't reproduce with somebody because you're already junking up the person that you're cloned off of.
So that would be a biological problem?
Yeah, or? I would see that as a biological problem.
Interesting. Okay.
Because if you're a clone of him, that would make him his son. Yeah, it would also be your son as well.
Wow, I see what you mean, and that's quite the idea.
Say if I had a clone and I already had a son, and then my clone had a daughter. They're both my children. They're both his children.
Even though the clone is the one that
did
the producing.
Yeah, even though I
did the doodly do and made the baby.
Even though we both had children, there would be both my children and both his children. Even though I did not produce that one.
Wow, you would be your own.
I'd be my own
stepfather.
Stepfather.
Or, no. What do you call someone? What do you call? Let's say you got. This is a bit off topic, I know, but I need to know this. Let's say you married someone, and then they got divorced, and then your wife married someone else. What would you call that person that your wife is married to? Your half husband?
No, you won't call them
half brother, double brother.
They are of no relation to you.
Okay, so they're just kind of
as far as they are
another guy.
They're another guy.
They're a replacement.
There is no way that they're related to you because people have cousins by marriage.
Okay,
or you're my cousin by marriage.
Okay.
That's because my aunt married your uncle, and we're cousins by marriage, but we're not blood cousins because everybody can have a blood cousin if they have another person one way down the other.
So, with the child of your clone,
that would biologically be my child,
and the clone's child.
It would be biologically my child and biologically his child, but actually his child.
Okay, so what would she call? I don't know why, but
we
would
both biologically be the father.
But what would she call you guys?
We would both be the dad, but
so mom, dad, and dad, or how would
that? See, that's why I would not allow that. Clones could reciprocate with clones all they want.
Okay,
but
you want to divide them in a completely different race, then, or
they're not a race. They're biologically human.
Okay,
but
a different section of human.
But, it's hard to explain. They're not They're biologically. I can definitely say that clones of humans would definitely be humans.
Okay,
but they're not humans.
Okay,
or they're not people. Or they are people, just not a person.
Okay. Now, let's say in the future we get to that point of society where we have clones of other people. One, how would we be able to tell? And two, should should we find it necessary to be able to tell the difference?
We should find it necessary to be tell because one clone, imagine the criminal system with DNA records.
Oh my word, you're right. Yikes. I see what you mean.
Biologically, they're the same person,
Uh-huh.
but they're not the same person. Say I didn't do anything, or say I did something terrible, like I robbed a bank, slapped a nun, and streaked in public.
Okay.
And my clone didn't do anything. He was filing taxes or something,
Okay.
and I was shot.
Okay.
Or no, I wasn't shot.
And
they found my DNA, like hair follicles, anything.
Okay. And they traced it back to the clone.
They traced it back to the clone because biologically we're the same person.
Yeah. Okay, so how would we be able to tell? Would we have to insert like another gene in order to say this is the extra guy? Or something like
You ever chipped a dog?
No.
I don't want it to be the way. More ID would have to be the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
But when you see like people nowadays with more ID, more of anything, that tyrannical. Ooh, they're trying to know who I am. Well, we have to know who you are because if you're biologically the same person, but it's two different people, we gotta know who's who.
Right.
Because the world's black and white. It's sad to say the world's black and white. You are or you're not. You're not in between.
Okay. Interesting.
It's like a court system.
Mm-hmm.
Either you are or you're not.
Okay.
But the thing is chipping. You chip a dog. You put a thing inside them, and you would have a reader that would read the number off of it, or not the number, but the way you sound it. It sounds very terrible.
Okay.
But that's how you would identify who's a real clone.
Okay.
And you would designate the clone with clone, and you would have to do a lot more things with identification, classifications, things like that. Oh, you were produced the clone, so and so.
Okay.
You had to go through these precautions, and if you were produced as the actual natural born person, you would have to go through these precautions.
Okay. Now, next question: would we chip both the original and the clone, or just the clone?
Both.
Okay. Why?
In the future, or no, let's.
It's probably gonna be the future, honestly.
In the future, it'd probably be both, but it'd be a lot better to just chip the clone.
Okay. So just if you hear something, it's clone. You hear nothing.
If you arrest somebody, and they got the chip,
okay, on the back of their
you
neck.
would check or anywhere because like I forgot where dogs have a chip. I just assume it'd be on the back of the neck.
Okay.
And they would check it to see, oh, you don't have one. You're a natural person.
Okay. Do you think that would lead to social segregation of some kind? Like they would, like people would round up, like get out of here, you chips.
It's sad to say, but people go off of whatever people do. If people like a certain way, they're most likely going to find people that like the certain way the same way they do.
Okay.
It's sad to say, but
they're only going to agree with people that agree with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's sad to say, but that will happen one way or another, no matter what.
Well, I feel like even if it does happen, there's going to be someone's going to figure out some way around it and fix it.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
it's just the optimism, but
it's optimism, yeah, but it's the future.
Yeah,
we can't say for sure.
Right.
We can guess, wink.
Yep.
But we don't know what will happen. But if it did happen, precautions would have to be taken if there were clones, things like that.
Okay. Final question: would you want a clone? And if so, how many?
As a slave?
Whoa!
That got really dark.
You jumped right onto that.
That got really dark.
All right, 0 to 100.
Why would I have what would a slave be for?
That's not what I said. I didn't say
or not a slave. Excuse me. What would the clone be for?
Is this the whole thing? You just
no? I don't want slaves.
Do you want clones to be slaves?
No.
Okay.
No, they're people, but they're not people.
Okay.
They are people, but they're not the person.
So we're not throwing clones out and as slaves.
They're not. No.
They're not meant to be slaves.
They're not meant to be slaves.
Okay. So
they're people, but they're not the person.
Would you want? Let's for example, you almost had 5 of you, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, for biological reasons with your mom.
They would be twins.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, would you want a clone for the same reason?
Just brothers?
Kind of. Would you even call them a brother?
They would be me, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's where the big thing would be. It's me.
Yeah.
And, you know the whole timeline. They're like, let's just go off. timeline. If you went to the future, but if you met yourself, people would say something bad could happen. But if there already is a Grenzo the Filer, and there's another Grenzo the Filer, that's me. I can't get over that. And I would say I would have to be reprehensible. Not reprehensible, is that the term? I don't know. But
that
I would have to be reprehensible of him because that's me.
Okay, so you have to represent that you, or what are you saying?
I would have to grab the reins of him because he is me. Okay. I'd have to watch over him because he is me. Even though he can do everything I can, he is functioning.
He is
as much
you
as
down the
me.
timeline.
He's
not
me.
the clone of you.
No, not well. It's sort of like that thing from Futurama where he cloned himself.
I'll take your word for it.
Well, in Futurama, this one dude cloned himself, but he cloned his son.
Oh.
Or he cloned himself, but that was his son.
So his clone, he adopted as his son?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I don't know why you would want to do that.
Okay. For the sake of having another you, I suppose. I would want it. I would love a clone of myself for the sole purpose of hearing my side of things from a different me, and also so that I could achieve more under the same name. Oh, there's another question.
The thing is, if it's you, the issues would be, if you cloned you, and you want yourself to be 28, and you are 28.
Okay.
That clone comes out not with not the same thing as you got in your head.
Not the same mental capacity. That's right.
Well, if it comes out,
you start from the ground up.
You start from the ground up. Yeah.
But
the issue is, you could come with the same precaution, like, oh, this clone developed a deficiency somehow. It cannot respond as well. It doesn't do anything.
Start over.
You had to start over.
Okay.
But I'm not talking about like take it out back, old Yeller style, start over.
Oh boy.
But I'm not saying do that.
Okay, don't put them down.
No, you don't put them down. But
just make another clone. Ooh, would you clone a clone? Well, maybe...
it's like copying a copy.
Yeah. Oh wait, yeah.
You get further and further from it.
Yeah. So if the clone had a deficiency somehow, cloning that.
Will most likely have another deficiency.
But with the idea of variation, and there being enough genetic variation in the clone for it to get a deficiency, what are the chances that the clone of the clone would not?
It could strung out. Well, you're gambling.
That's true.
With all the knowledge I can guess of cloning, you're gambling.
Yeah, genetics in general.
With childbirth, it's gambling. You're either going to have... It's going to be difficult. Like you can say, oh yeah, I'm having a son. Pop out a daughter. Oh, no. It's a game of chance.
Right.
And your son could come out with no arms. Mm-hmm. Your son could come out with a deficiency, a growth defect or something like that.
Okay. Like come out midget versions?
Midget versions, yeah.
Is that's not an insensitive term, is it? A shorter version.
Dwarf sounds even worse.
You're right, it does.
Why would they get mad at midget? Dwarf sounds even worse.
Okay. So there are plenty of possibilities that it could be a really short us.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be a short, it could be deficient, it could have a club leg, club foot, it could have that weird disease with heart's born on the outside.
Oh man, yeah.
It could have that, it could have acronomaly or gigantism, or however you pronounce the actual term.
Right.
You could have the weird Zika virus small head thing. Mm-hmm. You could be like that case with the one kid that was born without a brain, but a brain stem.
Oh, wow. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
But they could also be born with even better qualities than you.
That's the thing. Either you could or you couldn't. That's the
gambling, yeah.
Gambling, yeah.
So...
It's like getting certain degrees in college. You either break out or you don't.
Okay. Any final thoughts on this whole topic in general?
I don't think we should clone people.
Okay. I think we should, under certain conditions, and we should be careful.
What would be the certain conditions, like extinction?
I guess that's
like what people are trying to do with certain animals.
I wasn't thinking that, but more along the lines of oh, I know. If someone signed up to, I don't know, be the first person to land on Pluto, and they kept dying, but they'd have a clone ready to take their place, and they'd have all the information backed up somehow, ready to teach the clone, and then eventually the clone. Oh wait, that's a clone of a clone.
The clone of a clone would know.
Yeah, that's true. So,
or
unless it didn't even know it was a clone, and
that's
just
the
took
issue.
out all the information.
That's the
except
issue.
dying.
That's the issue. The clone could know that it's going to be perpetually die, and it will think that, oh yeah, I'll get there, but no. And the clone,
the next clone will think, I didn't die.
I didn't die. I'm still here. I didn't. What do you mean I did die? It's like,
oh man,
you know,
bring about a lot of philosophy.
The Force Awakens.
Yes.
No, not the Force. The Force Unleashed Star Wars game.
I know
Star Killer.
about it.
Star Killer.
What about him?
He's a clone of a clone.
Oh, okay.
And though he takes the place of the clone, I believe that originally had a girlfriend, had a wife, daughter, or something like that.
Okay.
He takes the place of that, but he's like, that's not me. Like,
he
needs to know I believe he goes through a thing where he's like, that is me, but I'm not him.
Oh man.
Biologically, he's the clone, but that's not him.
But he doesn't see himself as that person.
I don't know. The campaign's like 2 hours or so.
Anyway, I don't know. Personally, currently, I can't think of what would cause a need for clones.
But the thing is, people are like, oh yeah, we'll just use them for organs. So you're gonna like human cattle is basically what they're going for. If that's the case.
Oh wow, yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
And then it might go even into a sicker
like form. Like they're going to use them as entertainment. Like
I was thinking Soylent Green, but yeah, let's focus on entertainment.
The issue is, you can't run people like cattle. That's one thing you can't do because they're not people, or there are people, but they're not cattle.
Right,
But clones are still people, but they're not the person.
Okay.
The person they're cloned off of is the person.
Yeah, right.
They're just
a copy,
a product.
Okay.
And I'm not. People like can tie in. Oh, it's like breeding. Well, if you breed one natural dog with a natural dog together, you get the natural dog.
Right.
But if you clone the synthetic dog, or the synthetic with the natural, and you hope that you'll get the thing, that's not the natural. That's the hybrid.
Okay. Interesting. So, your final thoughts are, you don't think we should clone?
I don't think we should.
I think I don't really mind if we do, but we have to be careful if we're going
because the way that you're saying, like, oh yeah, he'll just take the place of the one that died before that. That sounds pretty gruesome.
Yeah, it does.
Like, I'm not going to be that one person, like, saying, oh, that's disgusting, over, like, minimal thoughts. I don't think it's disgusting. I think people misuse the term disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a offensive video on, oh, this is disgusting. It's not disgusting. It's just tasteless.
Okay. Well, hey, on the plus side, I could finally live forever. Just have clones of clones, and they all think we're the same person. Wait, would that be considered living forever?
No.
Okay.
Well, people is like, oh yeah, I just do that and take out my brain. No, that wouldn't work because your brain would age. That's the issue. You could age 85 years and you have dementia in your brain.
And if you copy the brain.
You put that brain... Well, no, the brain, you copy the brain, but the brain wouldn't be there.
Okay. Still want to clone. Well, maybe. Maybe.